everyone, this is Doxy Mom and welcome back to my channel. If you haven't done so already, I'd greatly appreciate if you hit that little red subscribe button. You can ring the bell for notifications, and if you like this video, just give it a thumbs up. Well, Miss Peanut and I, we're going to bring you the news in 15 minutes or less, so let's get started. Now guys, in my last video I stated that Kirsten W., she interviewed George Nastiff, and he's an IT Internet Network Security Specialist who has a source at the DOJ, and that source confirmed that Comey was arrested this past Sunday and Strzok and Page were arrested on Monday. Now guys, I could not get confirmation from Ann Vandersteel and her sources. However, Comey hasn't been seen in public since late April, and you all know, guys, that I don't have sources, okay? I just search different sites. I read many articles. I listen to hours of video, and the only proof that I have is what George and Kirsten said. And Kirsten, well, she is being fiercely attacked. YouTube has taken down some of her videos. I watched one of her videos this morning. And when do people get attacked? Usually when they're over the target. So again, I can only share what I have heard. I didn't see them in handcuffs, but that doesn't mean that it didn't happen. So guys, y'all know I would never intentionally lie to you or lead you in the wrong direction. And if I find out that this didn't happen, I will be the first to admit that I made a mistake, and I will let you know, and I will apologize. Y'all know that. I need to apologize. In my last video, I said Bill Binney was ex-CIA and he's ex-NSA. Guys, you know we're all human and we do make mistakes at times, but I will keep you posted if I hear anything new, okay? Now, President Trump, he spoke to Tuesday morning before leaving the White House to travel to Arizona, and he starts off by saying, the House is a setup. The House is a bunch of Trump haters. They want our situation to be unsuccessful, which means death. And our situation is going to be very successful. The House has put on an oversight committee of Maxine Waters and Maloney and the same people who hate Trump, and it's just a setup. Well, President Trump's talking about where Nancy Pelosi appointed 7 anti-Trump Democrats to a panel to police Trump's coronavirus response efforts. Just another witch hunt. Anyway, President Trump goes on to say, excuse me, that Dr. Fauci will be testifying in front of the Senate, and he looks forward to doing that. But the House, they should be ashamed of themselves, and frankly, the Dems should be ashamed because they don't want us to succeed. They want us to fail so they can win an election. But they're not going to win. But right now, the stock market's up. People are going back to work safely, and we're leading the world, and China should have informed us that they had a problem. This should never have happened. Then President Trump was asked, have you heard a definitive answer as to where the virus came from? And President Trump said, I think we do, and we'll be reporting on it over the next period of time, very definitively over a period of time. Now, President Trump goes on to say that people need to go back to work because keeping people up, there's lots of drug abuse, there's suicides, which is just so horrible. And just so you know, there is no great win one way or another, but I will tell you where there is a win, we're going to build a country. I did it once, and we're going to do it again. We're going to build the greatest economy in the world again, and it's going to happen pretty fast. Don't you just love our president? It was a great interview, and I'll leave a link. And this next story by the Gateway Pundit, it's entitled, More Coronavirus Fakery. Virginia officials pad their COVID numbers, admit to counting same person 3 times if they received 3 different tests. Now, Virginia saw a historic increase in testing numbers Friday, jumping 15% in the last 24 hours. But a change in methodology is behind the spike. The Virginia Department of Health announced it will now count the number of positive virus tests instead of the number of people who test positive. Well, of course they're going to do that. Also, the deep state governor, Northam, he announced he was closing the state until June the 10th, which is ridiculous. So I hope A.G. Barr will go have a little chat with Virginia's governor. And I'll leave a link. Now this next story, wow. The Gateway Pundit, they're reporting that a group of illegal immigrants with children born in the United States are suing the federal government because they didn't get checks from the stimulus package. The Georgetown University Law School's Institute for Constitutional Advocacy and Protection filed the class action lawsuit on behalf of the group in Maryland's Federal District Court on Tuesday. The lawsuit alleges that their children who were born in the United States are being punished because their parents are illegal immigrants. Well, in order to receive funds from the CARE Act, the person needs to have a Social Security number, and that way they know you're here legally, and if you don't have a Social Security number, then you aren't paying taxes. So this should be pretty interesting, this lawsuit. I'll keep you posted, and I'll leave a link. Then Doug Collins was interviewed on Newsmax, and I loved at the 3-minute mark in the video the graphic that comes up saying investigating the investigators, and had pictures of Comey, McCabe, Peter Strzok, Lisa Page, Bill Priestap, and Robert Mueller. Then at the 3:10 mark, it had John Brennan and James Clapper's pictures up there. So it was awesome seeing those pictures on a news show with Senator Doug Collins. Excuse me. And it reminded me of pics that we've been seeing 17 post for years. Anyway, the corrupt cabal of Comey, Strzok, Page, McCabe, all of these people were actually attacking a candidate, then a president. And remember, McCabe was supposed to prep General Flynn, and McCabe was fired for lying to his own colleagues. So they charged Flynn for lying, but didn't charge McCabe. However, guys, I think we know that there are going to be more serious charges coming towards for McCabe. We all know this was a coup. They're traitors to our country. Anyway, the interviewer asked Doug if these people will be charged, and Doug said, now we have actual case evidence where they targeted General Flynn, they tried to hide facts and set him up. This is a pattern we've seen with Papadopoulos, with Carter Page, and a pattern we've seen to lying to the FISA court. They have to be held responsible. I think U.S. Attorney John Durham is doing that. Can you say boom? Doug ends by saying, my hope is that we will see some accountability very soon, and I'll leave a link. And guys, I hope you'll turn in to Steel Truth tonight at 8 p.m. This is May 6th. We don't talk about the arrest since Ann's source has not gotten confirmation. We do talk about General Flynn. We're all praying that he will be exonerated. He's a patriot. He was clearly set up. And I would like to ask all of my viewers to please keep Bill Mitchell in your prayers. Guys, he is he's battling a blood clot called a saddle clot in his lung, and he needs our prayers. So please, please pray for this brave patriot who has just done so much for our movement. Now I'm going to leave you with one of my favorite Bible verses, Philippians chapter 4, verses 4 through 7, that say, rejoice in the Lord always. I will say it again, rejoice. Let your gentleness be evident to all. The Lord is near. Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. Well, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much for tuning in. Until next time, this is Doxy Mom, and God bless you all.